Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to Fact King. Fact King was first to say first in one of my recent videos and thus wins this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101, and this is the Eachine Mini Falcon. It's another continuation of the Eachine Volantex warbird series. Now, what is this particular aircraft? This is a 365mm model of the F16 Falcon. It's a 4-channel trainer aircraft, which means we have control of rudder, throttle, ailerons, and elevator on this particular aircraft, as you can see through all the push rods and here in the bottom here. Here we have push rods for the elevators, push rods for the ailerons, and there's our throttle, which is our motor. Now, this motor on this particular aircraft is a brushed motor aircraft, like the others in the Warbird series. This is a 1020 brush motor. Very powerful brush motors, the 1020s. So this should give us a lot of oomph for this particular Warbird. Now, as with the other Warbird series, this is gyro stabilized. Okay, it has 3 functions of gyro stabilized, being beginner mode, which is fully stabilized, where the aircraft will not exceed a certain pitch or roll angle. No matter what you do with the controls, it just won't go any further, and that's to prevent crashes by beginner pilots. It also has an intermediate mode, which the roll is still stabilized to prevent rollover of the aircraft. However, you can exceed the elevator pitch angle, so you can do loops with the aircraft in intermediate mode. And finally, there's an expert mode, which you can turn off the angle restrictions entirely so that you can do rolls also, in addition to loops on the aircraft. This aircraft has a 1-key return mode, which when you activate it, it will turn around and fly the opposite direction it was pointed at takeoff. That is not a true return to home and landing, folks, so be careful with that. If you do it, set it up incorrectly, it actually could fly away from you. Now, this is being advertised as a beginner's 4-channel aircraft. I would give you a caveat saying I would recommend this for beginner pilots who already have some experience controlling an aircraft, particularly in regards to orientation of the aircraft. If you look at this particular aircraft, the wing surface area is somewhat small, since this is a fighter aircraft, which means this aircraft is going to tend, in my opinion, we'll find out when we fly it in the field, but I think this aircraft's going to fly pretty darn fast, okay? And a little bit too fast for beginner pilots to stay ahead of is what I'm worried about. Additionally, you may need quite a large field to fly this particular aircraft. We'll find out when we fly it. But right now, looking at the design, I'm guessing that this is going to be a little bit too aggressive for beginners to stay ahead of it, fly just a little bit too fast. But we'll find out when we get in the field. I'll give you my thoughts when we get there. Let's see, what other things about it. Let's go over the power for this. It is powered by a 3.7 volt 400 milliamp hour battery. In fact, here's one of them. I got a spare. You can buy 1, 2, or 3 spares with this particular aircraft. Quite a common battery with a white low C connector, so you'll have no problems finding spares for this particular aircraft. It also comes with a instruction manual, which is pretty darn detailed, so recommend reading it in its entirety before you fly it. It comes with a battery charger for the 3.7 volt batteries, along with a screwdriver for assembly. You are going to need to do some minor assembly in regards to installing the landing gear on the aircraft. You got to insert these little screws to hold the landing gear in place on the aircraft. Additionally, with the airplane, you get a spare propeller. I forgot to mention that. Be careful on takeoffs. I'm looking at it right now. On takeoff rolls, if you give it a little too much, if it pitches up a little, I got a feeling that yes, you can potentially damage that back tail surface area. So I would recommend getting a nice long run on the aircraft. Get it up to speed before pulling back on the stick to get it in the air, because I'm worried about that tail hitting the ground and breaking. But you do get a tail propeller. But you do get a pusher propeller, a spare propeller, if you do break it in flight. Let's go. You also get the controller. Now, this controller is powered by 4 AA batteries. in the back here. What we got is throttle. We got elevator or rudder, throttle, rudder, aileron, or no, elevator, this is pitch, and roll, which is aileron. Okay, I'm thinking in terms of quadcopters, so sorry about that, folks. You also get an acrobatics button, which you press this button and then tell it to roll or we'll find out what it is in the field. Each one of these tends to do something different. Some do aileron rolls, some do loops when you press this button. Find out what it does when we get in the field. But you press it and it activates acrobatics mode, and then you can do an acrobatic with it. And this button here is for expert, which is all the way forward, beginner all the way toward you, and mid it will be the intermediate mode. So again, beginner mode restricts pitch and roll, so you can't roll over or pitch over the aircraft, and it has full stabilization while in beginner mode. Mid, it still has full stabilization, except we can exceed the pitch angle of the aircraft and actually do loops with the aircraft in intermediate mode. Mid, and expert turns off the angle restrictions entirely. However, I think it is still somewhat stabilized. If you let go of the sticks, I'm not sure. We'll find out when we get in the field. But if you let go of the sticks in expert, it should possibly come back to level flight. But again, we'll find out when we get in the field. So that, oh, I forgot to mention, return to home. Before you take off for that one key return, you set a direction where you're going to be flying, and then you push this button up like so, and it remembers that direction, so that when you activate the return to home by pushing down on this particular button here, the aircraft will turn around and fly back in your general direction. Okay, so that is the Eachine Mini Falcon. Let's take it out into the field, folks, and see how it flies. So hope you enjoy this flight. And let's arm the motors by up and down. Okay, and making sure we are in beginner mode. Now it's cold as anything out here today, folks. But I'm going to go out into the snow here a bit, if I can, and we'll launch it from out here in the snow. Let me get a grip on it. Let me check this control surfaces. They are working. Wind's coming from that direction there, so. And it is a bit windy, so let's get it in the air. Giving it throttle. Pulling it up. Okay, as predicted, it is a bit fast. Now, does this have any rudder control? No. There is no rudder control. I made an error, folks, when I said that this is 4-channel. It appears to be 3-channel only. But it is fast, as I predicted also. Whoa, the snow out here is about a foot deep. So, I'm going to try to keep it close, folks, but like I said, this thing needs quite a bit of room. It's a fast bird. Maybe I can go over here a bit. Okay, let's try this stunt button. Coming around. Stunt button. Nope, didn't do anything there. Oh. Whoa, it did roll. No, 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 no. Oh boy. I pulled back on that stick and it actually stalled. So you can stall this. It was flying downwind when it did that. So, but yeah, that was a pretty cool roll. It does a cool roll. So let me go get it. And we'll try going over here a little bit better so I can go back and forth with the sun at my back. So hold on, folks, while I go get this thing. Okay. It didn't get hurt in that crash. Okay, the wind's coming from that direction there. So let's get it in the air again. Pulling back. You have to pull back on the stick a bit. And yeah, you do need to keep this fast. Coming around. Now, there is quite a bit of wind here. But it's fighting it. See, I crap through that wind. Coming around. I'm going to go to intermediate. Trying a loop. Another loop up high. Now keep in mind with intermediate you can do loops, but and extreme rolls, it's much more reactive. So you can do loops and stunts. Oh, that actually did a roll, but I think that was inadvertent roll. Get this closer to me. You're not seeing it over there. Let's try to keep it close. But I'm going to leave it in intermediate mode for the rest of the flight, because it's more reactive. You got to be careful going downwind. So the stabilization system on this is very agile. So you got to be careful with the stick. And again, in the wind here, I'm flying in a pretty breezy day. I was going to fly another one today. I ain't going to do it. That one's going to have to wait, because it wouldn't be able to fight this wind. This one can, because it's fast. Ooh, nose it in the snow. How's it doing? Well, keep in mind, this is snow. So I'm hoping it's not hurt. Doesn't seem to be. Now we'll pick it up again over here. And throttle. Oop. This throttle's starting to get a little weak. It's cold today. That might be it. Let me try it again. Let me brush off the snow. We might have icing problems here. Okay, snow's off most of that area. Try it again. That wind is cold, folks. Yeah, there's another foot of snow coming here today. I gotta fly. I'm just gonna give it throttle here so I don't have any more problems here. It's fast. Actually, I think it's too fast for beginners. Oops. Too fast for beginners, folks. But intermediate pilots might enjoy this, especially on a less breezy day. Coming back down, too high for you to see. Coming back down. Throttle down, and throttling up. Going around the bend. Whoa, maybe this can roll. I don't know. Let's try it. No, I tried it. It didn't. Through the sun. Yeah, I wish there was. It doesn't seem. Well, I'm applying rudder right now with aileron. It seems to be a little more tuned when you do that. There's no rudder control. Or maybe I'm wrong. Whoa. There we go again. There was hardly any wind that time, folks. That was probably my fault. But, yeah. Beginners, nah. Intermediate flyers, yeah. And even experts. I'm not going to expert mode because this is even beyond me. So, you know, these fighter airplanes, you got to keep in mind, these ones that are designed close to fighter design are designed to be inherently unstable. And the reason for that is to improve its maneuverability in combat. So that's why it's flying fast and it's kind of a little jittery, even with the stabilization system on. So let's get back in here. You got to get it up to speed for it to fly properly. You got to get it back close to me too. You got to give it some speed. And it is fast. Let's try to do figure eights for the remainder of the flight.
I think that battery's getting weak. Yeah, that battery's weakened now, so on a cold day, that's its flight time, folks. Okay, keep in mind, it's really cold, and it's kind of it's not blustery, but I'm saying it's going up and down between 7 miles per hour, and this one's here is going to 10 miles per hour wind. So it is buffeting the aircraft a bit. But that is the Mini Falcon on a cold day in February here in Erie, Pennsylvania. Again, another foot of snow coming tonight, so I had to fly it. So again, intermediate pilots should love this, okay? It's an agile little bird. But beginner pilots, I'm not so sure if this is appropriate for beginners. Just too fast and too jittery. Okay? So, hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out. Good afternoon, Quadcopter 101 here on a really cold day here at Pleasant Ridge Park. It's 20 degrees, folks, out here. My fingers are freezing. But it's the lowest wind day I've seen in a long time here. About a 6 mile per hour breeze going through here, 5 to 6 miles per hour. But we'll see how the Eachine Mini Falcon performs out here on today. So I already have it bound to the controller, so we are more or less ready to go. And arming the motors, checking the motors, and let's give it a toss and see how it flies, folks. Here it goes. Okay. There we go. Let's turn it around. I can barely see it over there, tell you the truth. That gray color. But here we go. Now I can see it. Let's try to keep it closer so I can see it. It actually flies nicely today. Well, I almost stalled it. I have it on full stabilization. Let me double check that. No, I'm in mid-range. Now I'm in beginner mode. I'm going to leave it in beginner mode, folks, because I can barely see this thing today. But I'm going to try to keep it closer. Now, as for being in beginner mode, they say this is for beginners. It is somewhat fast, as you can see here. Somewhat really fast, actually. And I do recommend keeping it in beginner's mode until you get a feel for it, because when I go to mid mode, it really can bank, okay, and you can get into trouble with this. You can stall it in intermediate mode. But ooh, it makes a nice quick turn. Let's see if I can do that around here. Get some speed, losing sight of it over there again. Yeah, that gray is hard to see, but I think that's the reason why they paint them gray, you know. They're hard to see against the gray sky. And it's going to be hard for you to see on my video. I'm going to try to keep it a little closer. Let's slow it down. Let's see if it'll fly at slower speed. Reducing throttle. Even at low throttle, it's somewhat quick. A little too quick, in my opinion, for beginners, to tell you the truth. Beginners would have a hard time staying ahead of this airplane. You know, you gotta think ahead. And I don't think this would be appropriate for beginners. To be truthful, folks, it's a little bit fast. Quite a bit fast. It is fun to fly, though. Hey, let's try stunts. Let's come around, turning it, put it in stunt mode. Whoa, it doesn't roll. Do that again. It didn't roll. Let's do it again. Closer. Let's get it closer to us. See, it's hard. This thing goes so fast, it's hard to go. Oh, there it goes. That was pretty cool, though. Let's see here. What else did I want to try? I want to try that return to home. I had that direction set up as our launch direction. Make sure it's not damaged in the snow. I don't think it'll be damaged because it was snow it hit. No, it seems to be okay. So let's get back in the air and try that return to home. One key return, actually. Oh, what's going on there? Let me double check it wasn't damaged. I don't think it was damaged. It's got snow in the wing. Icing conditions. Let's take care of that. Icing. But while we're here, notice how the auto stabilization system is working on these. That, you know, as it tilts to the left, it wants to, the ailerons want to roll to the right, and you go to the right, the ailerons roll to the left. And there's one other thing I wanted to mention. You know, I said that this was 4-channel. I'm wrong. There is no rudder control on this. This is totally controlled through the ailerons and the elevators. So I think it's advertised as 4-channel too, but I'm not sure why, because it does not have any rudder control, folks. But let's try it again. A little breeze is coming from that direction, so we're going to throw it into the breeze. There we go. 1 key return. Oh no. That was the aileron roll. I did it way over there. Okay, I'm going to slow it down, bring it closer, and hit return. I guess I didn't set it up properly. But let's fly close now. I'm trying to keep it as close as I can, folks. It's just that this thing's so fast it goes off like a rocket. Well, like a jet. It is a fast jet. Now, yeah, let's see if we can do a loop. Loop. I went to expert mode, or beginner, back to beginner. Beginner's toward me. But in mid mode you can do loops. Let's see if I can set it up to do a loop bias again. Well, that's as close as I'm going to get to bias. Again, this is hard to keep close because of its speed. Reducing throttle. See if I can fly it slow. How slow can it go? The wind's picking up a little bit. Going downwind. Going upwind. Over my head. I meant to do that, folks. Going downwind, the wind's picking up again. It is pretty neat. That wind is really picking up now. That's the problem with winter. Oh man, my fingers are freezing. See that toss in the wind? Let's see if I can do that again. Let's come by again and do that. Oh, I gotta warm up. I got another plane to fly. I don't think I can fly it here today because of the. But this is the best day I've had in weeks. 21 degrees. Reducing the throttle. The Falcon. Okay, that battery's died. That's it. So that's the flight time out of this. The battery is getting weak. So that is the Mini Falcon. It's an impressive little jet. Very fast, somewhat nimble. But because of that speed, folks, I don't know about this being for beginners. Intermediate pilots, yeah, you'll have a blast with this thing, especially on a better day than today when the summertime rolls around or springtime rolls around. But yeah, that's the Eachine Mini Falcon. I kind of like it. So this is Quadcopter 101 signing out. Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.
you.